Hello everybody, welcome back if you're an existing viewer, and hello if you're new. My name's Sam and I am Sea Queen Girly. Today we're talking all about Make 9. Can't wait to get started and I'm really glad that you are here. Hello everybody, love it or hate it, my Make 9 is back. I know that Make 9 really divides people. If you're not sure what Make 9 is, it's a grid of 9 things that sewists, crafters, knitters, anybody can set 9 intentions for the year of things they want to give a go to. I have done Make 9 now. I think this is my 3rd or 4th year. Lots of people do it in different ways, and I think that's the thing about Make 9. I saw a question the other day, somebody said, is Make 9 on this year? Make 9 is on any year that you want to make it on, any month, any time in the year when you want to make it on. It's not like some of the other sewing challenges that's run by anybody. Somebody did come up with the idea. If you know who, do leave a comment below of who did it. But I think some people have had a bit of a problem with Make 9 in that they felt disappointed at the end of the year if they haven't achieved things. Some people have really started to carve out their own way of doing it. So I have reviewed my 2024 Make 9, and if you want a real detail of that, head over to what I'm linking up here now, which I did during Vlogmas, and I talked through each one. So last year I set 9 intentions. I wanted to do shirring, depending on how you pronounce it, fly zip, welt pocket, swimwear, trouser adjustment, underwear, Hong Kong seam, and bias bound edges. As you can see, I'll just shuffle over here. As you can see from what's on the screen here, I managed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's just over 50%. And you know what? I'm fine that I didn't do the others. I did loads of other things. I'm not going to feel bad I didn't do them. But the intention was there to up my sewing skills level. I did other things to a really extreme level. And as I say, if you want to hear me talk about that in detail, do hop over to that episode of Vlogmas, because I go into a lot more detail about my thoughts, what I did, etc. But I've thought very carefully about my 2025 Make 9. If you want to hear detailed thoughts about my sewing for last year and my intentions for this year, there's 3 episodes. Part 3 is probably the one you want to listen to the most, because that's a more rounded explanation about what's coming for me in 2025. And I kind of have to do that thought process first before I can set these things. I also set myself a word for the year. This year's word is intentional. And that really fits with the things that I've thought through doing my sewing year review, my year compass, etc., where I want to do intentional sort of skill development, intentional shopping, not just randomly scrolling. I've already deleted this games app off my phone because I want to use my downtime to relax, but to be intentional about what I do with my relaxing time. So last year's word was authentic, and it was really last year about grabbing hold of really honouring who I am and being proud to share who I am, because it really, I find, helps others if I am being me, however weird, strange, colourful and haphazard that is. So let's talk about this year's Make 9. So I've gone for 9 things. Some people have changed it to Make 6. That's the great thing about anything, is make it your own. I'm quite happy with the 9 squares, and I really like thinking about what I want to put in there, and that's why it isn't coming out till we're just into January a bit, because I really wanted to think about it. So the first one is all the overlocker knowledge. Now, I'm being fun with the way I say that. I am honestly not expecting myself to suddenly, by the end of 2025, be the most knowledgeable overlocker person in the world. But the intention of that is, although I use my overlocker a lot, what else should I know? I want to know the proper names for the twiddly dials on the side. I don't know which one's my differential. I want to know which are the loopers and so on. I know how to use it. I know how to get the best out of it, but I don't have the words that go with it. So that's something that I've already started doing, is watching YouTube videos, reading things. And I'm gonna like do a load of stitches with all the threads different colours so I can learn what they do. I just want to be intentional about using my overlocker. Keeping the jeans making from last year, because I've done a lot of trousers in 2024. 2025 want to really get the fit right of a fitted pair of trousers. Same with keeping fly zip, they kind of go together. When I do one, I'll do the other on that, and I'm kind of cool about that. Dream summer dress, made good headroad into that in 2024, but in 2025 I'm looking for that go-to pattern that every time I put it on I feel like, I don't know how to describe it. Yes, I do. Like when in The Sound of Music, when she's running through the hills, I want that feeling, and I'm still on the lookout for that. So this is the year. Swimwear was on last year, it's coming on to this year. Last year I took the decision, when I realised I was actually going to go on a hot sunny holiday, it wasn't the time or the place to tackle it. I want to do it well in advance. I have ordered some cheap swimwear fabric to have a go, because I really think that I'm going to make mistakes and I need to do it without getting stressed out first, and then I'll treat myself to the good stuff. All the sleeves. I talk about this in part 3 of my review. I am going to do one bodice that fits, and I'm going to do a lot of different sleeves because I really want to build that set of patterns that I have for all the different types of sleeves. Not all, that's a bit much, isn't it? But yeah, I want to play with sleeves a lot this year. Underwear, talk about that a lot in my part 3 of my review. Was on last year, and again I'm good that I didn't get to it, because I went to town on trousers last year. I went to town on quilted jackets. If I'm going to do underwear, I'm going to town on knickers. I'm going to find the perfect knicker pattern for me, and then I'm going to make loads of them, and I'm going to learn. I've got some of the things already. I'm going to review it. I'm going to share with you my favourite patterns, all that sort of thing. Not sure if you'll get to see me then, though. We'll see how I feel about that. Now, this is a new one. Learn to crochet. Now, let's be clear. This isn't the first time I've tried this. My mum tried to teach me many, many years ago, and my hand and my brain at that time did not want to work together on it. But I am a different version of me now, and I have the lovely Mary just down the road, because unfortunately my mum is over 200 miles away. And so I am going to give it a go again. Now, we've got something fun coming up at the end of February where I've got quite a few days with Mary. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get told off. I'm pretty sure she's gonna school me, but I know that she's up for this, and I will take you all along on the ride. But I do think that, what did I hear? I heard this great phrase the other day. It was like, is it like side hobby or companion hobby to sewing? I don't know. But the great thing about crochet compared to the kind of sewing I do right now is it's a throw in a bag and do on a train, do in the car, do at the beach kind of hobby. And so I think if I start and I get it, it could be dangerous, but we're going to give it a try. And I'm realistic that it might not be for me still, but I like to keep learning. I like to keep evolving. So let's do it. I've got crochet hooks. I've got wool. And last of all, I have got sew at least 5 patterns from my collection and one big 4. I have a good collection of sewing patterns now. They are all mostly PDFs, so although I have them printed out, will always be stored virtually as well. And I have, for those of you who are regular viewers, I have organised them. They are now organised by clothing type. I'd built myself up thinking this was going to be a really hard, difficult job, and it wasn't. It honestly was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. I decided to put all the patterns that didn't have envelopes in envelopes first and label them, and then sort them by type, and then I got out all the rest of the patterns and just sat and sorted them whilst watching a movie. Other half sat on the other bit of the sofa just kind of looking over like what's happening. And actually I would say in an hour I'd done it. So I had really built that up in my head into something that it didn't need to be. It's great. I've already been back there and got what I needed from the right section so much quicker. So thank you for all of you who gave me your advice. But by clothing type is exactly the right way to do it for me. I have lots of lovely patterns. I generally do get the PDF printed out when I buy it, because then I don't forget I've got it, and I enjoy browsing my patterns. But at the moment I've got space to do that, but I will run out of space if I keep getting patterns. So I've got lots of lovely patterns in there that I want to try. So I thought I'm not going to set which 5. I just going to do 5 of them, which gives me lots of nice freedom. And I have quite a few vintage and second hand big 4 patterns that I've collected over the years. I've got a couple of baskets of them, and it would be nice to do one of them. I'm not anti big 4, it's just I find so much success and joy with the indie pattern companies. So I'm going to do a big 4 pattern too. So I thought by doing it like that, it gives me flexibility and freedom, but it also focuses my mind on enjoying and being intentional with what I've got. And that's why I've chosen that word for this year, because I really want to be intentional about it, because it can be so easy to get distracted all the time. There's always lovely new shiny things, and I will always go off on side quests and things because that's just who I am. But the joy of just sorting through my patterns and going, actually, I've had the flare dress pattern in my stash for a while now, I'd really like to make it, and just doing that and just having a pleasure in that. I'm pretty open-minded that, as I say, because of side quests and other exciting things, I might not do all of these, but I don't find that Make 9 distresses me because I'm making it my own. And I think that's the thing. The lovely Liz of The Baker That Sews, she does fabrics. Some people do a mixture of fabrics and patterns. Some people do techniques. Some people have gone for types this year. So I've seen like a summer dress, a pair of trousers, a jacket. So they're not naming which one to allow them to have some flexibility. This is much more about you thinking, what do I want? How do I want to be intentional? But also, you could have a random bingo square with nothing, with no set thing in if you want, that you could put in later. You could do 6, you could do 3, you can do none. I like the concept because I love my hobby and I want to keep evolving so it works for me, and it encourages me in like a self-monitoring way to push myself, and that's just who I am. But if you want to have a go with me at any of mine, let me know. If you set your own, do let me know too. I will be posting mine on Instagram, so if you want to go and look at it and comment there, you can. But as I say, there's quite a lot of thought before I get to this point. So I will list in the details all the sort of companion vlogs that you could watch to sort of understand how I got here. And it started with looking back before I could go forward, and just really sort of working around and thinking things through. I don't come to this like as a quick thing. It does take time for me to come to my sort of decision making, and that's why I don't rush myself, and that's why I know this is coming out on like the 12th of Jan or something, and if it hadn't come out to the 30th of Jan, that would have been fine too. If you want to know what I'm wearing, I have on the Bailey puff sleeve jumper, which is a free pattern by Tiana's Closet. This is a gorgeous brushed back French terry. I bought it from Fabrics Galore. It is a Nerida Handsome fabric. It is in various colourways and it's available in quite a few places. Yes, I'm still trying out the sweatshirt patterns, ready for that. So again, I'm busy exploring sweatshirts at the moment. So I would love to hear about your thoughts on Make 9 and whether you do, don't, whatever you want to do. And I would also love it if you could click the like and subscribe button if you don't. And most of all, I love to hear what you think. I will see you again very soon with my next vlog, and I hope you have time to do what you enjoy in the meantime. Catch you again soon. Bye.